Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at the Waterhole. Live at the Waterhole. Looks like we are here on the Olifants Riviera with some beautiful giraffe. Look like they're trying to cross the river. My name is Kerry Dupree, and I will be your naturalist presenter for the afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. Start of a new week. I'm sure everyone is getting into the groove of Monday fun day. How lovely to have these giraffes. Start the show with these beautiful giraffes, this lovely river here in South Africa. I wonder what they're looking at. I feel like they're trying to cross this river, but not too sure what's waiting for them. So just a reminder, folks, that this is a live and interactive show. So if you'd like to join in the conversation, please feel free to head across to YouTube channel or Twitter or X. Don't forget to use the hashtag if you would like to join in the conversation. You can also use the QR code on the screen right now to join in. Let me know how your weekend was, what you expect, what you'd like to see today live at the Waterhole, maybe what you enjoyed from some of the safaris on the weekend. I know there's been, a lot of activity in the leopard world on Juma. Looks like Tlalamba has a bit of a competitor. Shidulu looks like she's coming into Tlalamba's territory. Who knows what's going to happen? We're just praying that there's not a big fight that's going to break out. Tlalamba with that little one, the last thing she needs is some injuries. So what is happening on Juma? Very exciting to see all the leopard activity as well as hyena activity. I know Ribbon's little cub is adorable. Lovely to watch these little creatures growing up. Joanne Mello, good afternoon. Happy Monday. Welcome to Live at the Waterhole. Happy to have you with us today. Penelope Kenyon, greetings. I'm very curious to know what these giraffes are all staring at. The water's not that deep here that they would kind of worry to cross, but I do know that there are some crocodiles in this section of the river. But as you can see, it is a low season, so the water is quite low now since it's dry season. So I don't think it would be anything to worry about the giraffe crossing. The water's probably less than a few feet deep, maybe 2-3 feet deep maximum, unless there's a bigger channel here. Maybe they're scouting out. They definitely are intently looking to see what is happening in the river. So it is a lovely Monday here in Johannesburg. It did start off quite nice and warm, but seems to have gone quite overcast. So it looks like it's kind of a similar weather in Olifants Riviera, over in the Kruger. It's kind of a bit overcast, grey. Nice cool day, although the sun was shining earlier. So what do we have here? What is in the river? Only thing I know giraffe would intently stare at like that as if there was a predator, maybe a lion or leopard. Maybe there's a lion or leopard on this other side of the riverbed here. Have a quick scan. Looks like some beautiful ana trees. I think we've got some impala in the background there. Yeah, there's a nice impala ram just in the background there. What's he up to? Probably seeking a bit of refuge under the trees. So a lot of the acacia trees will be dropping pods at this time of the year, which are very much sought after by a lot of antelope, like impala, nyala, kudu, warthog, and even bush pig. So Jive Bunny, good to hear you've seen some giraffe crossing this river. Yeah, like I said, unless it's a very deep channel, more than like say 5, 10, 15 meters, generally giraffe do cross the river. So good to hear that they have crossed the river here before. Glad that you've seen them. Even elephants will cross the river, no problem. So let's see what else we can find here on the river edge. I know normally there's sometimes a little bushbuck that hangs out here, or a few males, a few females, lots of monkeys. Penelope Kenyon, oh my goodness, sounds like it is still raining in Belito. I guess that's why we're having this, overcast and dreary weather. Must say, I do wish I was at the beach right now. End of the show yesterday, we did end in Cape Town, and we had a little penguin, and it was great to see the beach at one of our cameras in Cape Town. So yeah, good luck with that rainy weather, Penelope. I hope that you managed to get some sunshine at some stage. What else is out and about on this river's edge? So a lot of activity here. You can see a lot of dung, a lot of tracks in and out. You can see where the elephants have obviously been feeding on some of these trees here. A little bit of the elephant impact here. And I love exploring riverbeds, I must say. It's always so much wonder around the next corner and looking for tracks, what might have come, what's passed by. These rivers are like a source of life in dry areas like this. Sometimes the only greenery you get will be down by the riverbeds, which of course creates a perfect habitat for all our little species like bushbuck, kudu. Hello, giraffe. There's another giraffe with a tree there. Often get monkeys bouncing about in these trees close by to the camera. Now, giraffe looks like he's also just hanging out, enjoying the shade. I know it was also very windy yesterday afternoon, so could have brought in the strange weather. Chanel, thank you for joining us. It's great to be back on live at the waterhole. I'm enjoying watching this giraffe just chomping away. Looks like a fig tree, so it looks like there's quite a few fig trees down here by the river's edge. Just like you can see on the left-hand side of the screen here. So you can see they have been impacted a little bit by elephants. So fig trees will be fed on by elephants. The bark, very nutritious for elephants. And of course the fruit are just like an animal buffet. Everything comes to visit a fig tree to get food. Animals, insects, bats pollinate them. All kinds of creatures rely on fig trees in the ecosystem. So Jive Bunny, thanks for the update about the leopard and lion path that they roam across. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Very exciting to know that there's lions and leopards that roam about in this area, close to the baboon tree. I'm guessing it's the one just by this, where our camera is there. See a lot of baboons and monkeys around there. I'm sure a leopard would love to snatch a baboon in the tree at night. Although baboons are not leopards' prime idea of a meal. I know a leopard would much rather snack on a bushbuck or impala, but desperate times come, the leopards are known to feed on baboons. All right, well, let's go ahead across to Oldonyo and see what's happening at our camera in Oldonyo over in Kenya. Oh, hello. Look, oh my goodness, we've got a lot going on here. We've got our secretary bird. We've got a little agama at the bottom side of the screen here. Check out this guy. It's a little agama, got a blue body, little red head. Got a giraffe feeding there as well as an elephant. How cool is this little blue agama here? I'm not sure on exactly which one he is, so I'm just going to have a quick look in my ID kit. Isn't that cool? Check out that little agama. Whoops, just got them right. And our secretary bird also coming down. I haven't seen the secretary birds for a while. There's generally a pair that does hang around here, and I often come down to the waterhole for a bit of a drink. It's great to see the secretary birds. It's perfect kind of environment for the secretary birds to be here. There's lovely nesting trees. So I'm having a look at my kind of reptile app, Nick. There is an agama that looks very similar, the Namib agama. It's a agama that occurs in Namibia, but obviously it's a bit out of range, but it was very similar. Blue body, orange head. It could be some sort of tree agama too, although tree agamas don't have the orange head. So yeah, very cool to see a little agama. It's my first time seeing an agama here in Kenya. It did have very graceful long legs and beautiful yellow orange head. The males are generally more metallic color, these agamas, beautiful colorations in order to attract the females. And they do sometimes live in colonies up on rocks, anything from 2 to about 10, 15 individuals on kind of rocky outcrop areas. So yeah, there might be perfect habitat for them to live here, kind of just in the trees and maybe on these little ridges or outcrops. So Mercedes-Benz, 2 spotted leopards were actually spotted here overnight, and 1 ton. So thank you for the update on the sighting. So there were 2 leopard at this watering hole in Old Donyo last night, and 1 ton, the massive tusker elephant, also came and paid the pan a visit. I've only seen 1 ton once, so awesome to hear that 1 ton is around. Maybe if we're lucky, he will pop in for a visit today. The massive elephant, 1 ton, one of the last biggest tuskers left in Kenya. And Catherine, definitely agree with you there. Very cool. So you see this kind of rocks and this, old, dead, fallen over tree. A perfect spot for agamas. I have seen a few agamas in this area before. So pretty cool to see this beautiful agama here. And Jive Bunny, I definitely agree with you. Old Donyo is a great location. Unfortunately, we do have some signal challenges here from time to time, so the camera can be a little bit unstable. But when we do get a chance to kind of spend some time at Old Donyo, it's incredible. I've actually once had 7 different mammal species in one photo here at Old Donyo, so it is very productive. Take it as secretary bird. I wonder where your friend is. Admiring the secretary bird. I'm very unfamiliar with the birds here in Kenya, so if anyone can help me with an ID on the strange bird calling, we're going to just have a quiet moment to just listen to this bird. I'd really love some help. I'm not too sure what it is, and I'm not very familiar with the Kenyan bird. So please, if there's any birders out there, please give me a hand with the ID on this bird calling. Let's have a listen. I hope he's going to call now. Hear the sound of that elephant slurping up the water. Of course, this bird does not want to vocalize. I'm just going to give him a few more moments. He was vocalizing a moment ago, so let's keep listening. It's a very unusual sound that I've never quite heard before. Of course, this bird is being a little bit difficult. Anyway, if I hear him vocalizing again, I'll just instantly keep quiet. Hopefully catch him. Vocalizing again. So that agama that we just saw was actually a rainbow agama. So pretty cool rainbow agama. Beautiful blue coloration. Oryx. Ah, oryx. Oh, shame, poor oryx. There was an oryx that just came down for a drink, but the giraffe gave it a bit of a fright as he lifted up his head. So yeah, so I just found, because of course the agama I know of is a Namib agama or Namibian agama. So this agama that actually occurs here in Kenya, very similar to the Namib agama, but it's actually known as the rainbow agama, and it is kind of got a red head, and it is mostly a rock and kind of tree agama, very colorful. So it is a species that is widely distributed over most of sub-Saharan Africa. Males are very territorial and defend their territories. Um, so if they have a small patch or a small log, they will defend that territory quite aggressively. And they generally have that very significant, it looks like a bodybuilder doing some push-ups. He does these like push-ups with his little strong arms and kind of like to intimidate his opponents. It's quite a cool little show to watch. Um, uh, the little agamas. So Mindy, giraffes drinking. Isn't that just the best thing to watch? Looks like a female giraffe coming down for a drink. Nice to see three different species all kind of interacting at the same watering hole. So I believe they are currently in the process of changing the name of this secretary bird. I don't know yeah, how well it's going to take to the rest of the world because it's quite a strange name. I think the new name is going to be long-legged ground-dwelling serpent eagle, which is quite a mouthful, I must say. Long-legged ground-dwelling serpent eagle. I much prefer secretary bird. Some of these names are quite a little bit, yeah, bit of a mouthful. So Hazel, yes, it is very nice to see a bit of a diversity, species diversity at the watering hole today. Generally, at this watering hole, you can have, well, so quite a variety of elephants all here, bulls, females, kind of, yeah, adults, sub-adults, all taking up this watering hole with not much space for anyone else to join in for a drink. Oh, hello, oryx. Got a little oryx that's come in for a drink. Oh, is that a gymnogene? I think there was a gymnogene or African harrier that just flew across the screen. Oh, pretty cool. We had a really cool sighting. BK and I have a gymnogene at Mabula. Yeah, he was hunting and looking for holes in trees to feed out of. Maybe this oryx will have some space to come for a drink now. Oh, check it that. Isn't that a cool photo? An oryx and a secretary bird. Yes, Mindy. So if any bird, if the secretary bird's having a hard time, he wants to have a drink but doesn't want to get in the mud. Oh, now the elephant has chased him away. Nice big bull. Hello, boy. Oh, that's a nice hole for our little agama to hang out in. Oh, there's a springbok. Got a lot of different species coming in here. Yes, this elephant is rather bully, chasing away our poor secretary bird. We just wanted to have a drink, but at least the elephant is gone now, and all the other species can come in for a drink. You've got another elephant bull in the background there. Looks like he might be trying to scratch himself on the tree or push down some pods from the acacia tree there. And it looks like we have our wattled starlings that have all come in for a drink with the little springbok. So, Mindy, I definitely agree with you there. Egyptian geese, if there's any bird that should have its name changed, probably should be the Egyptian goose because it's kind of, half goose, half duck, not really a goose. But actually, it's interesting. The Egyptian goose is originally from Egypt, but now it occurs more commonly in a lot of other areas rather than in Egypt. Oh, we also have a little pied wagtail here today. How cool! So we've got a pied wagtail, the wattled starlings, and our secretary bird. So yeah, the Egyptian goose probably will end up becoming like the Indian myna, I guess, and will become the common goose. Now, I'm not too fond of Egyptian geese; they are a bit of an invasive species. Um, yeah, but we do have one of our cameras where there's an Egyptian goose sitting on eggs at the moment. So pretty cool to see what happens there. Maybe we can go and check up on her today. The Jive Bunny, I loved your comment there about how when Ben Coley mentioned about when elephants are all around the watering hole here at El Doño, it's like a bar full of bodybuilders. Yes, it definitely is. There's a lot of testosterone, a bit of argumenting here and there, and yeah, elephants pushing each other around just like bodybuilders like to assert their dominance and bully one another. So yeah, elephants can be a bit of a bully at watering holes, and especially if there's a herd of I've seen 6 or 7 bulls around this pan, and there's not enough space for other animals to come and drink. So yeah, they can be a bit of a nuisance. If there's enough water, then there's more than enough space for everyone to drink. But when water sources are being depleted and limited access to water, the animals definitely do have to wait to have a drink. Cool. Since we're talking about Egyptian goose, why don't we head across to Stony Point at Cape Town and see what our Egyptian goose is up to today? Maybe we'll find some penguins or some rock dussies as well. Oh, here she is. So this is the same Egyptian goose we had yesterday. She's changed positions a bit since we saw it yesterday afternoon. But yeah, really cool to see this Egyptian goose here at Stony Point in Cape Town. I believe she's sitting on 2 eggs, or is it 3 eggs at the moment? It's quite strange. Shame maybe something happened to her other eggs because I do know Egyptian geese can lay anything between about 6 to 8 eggs. But she's pretty nestled in there, and she's been sitting. I think I've got the dates here. Let me have a look. She's been sitting, I think, since the 20th of October. She's been sitting on her eggs. So, yeah, it'll be cool to see when these little chicks hatch. Yeah, the 20th of October, one of our Zoomies, one of the cam operators on the Zoom cameras, has first spotted this Egyptian goose on the 20th of October. Oh, we got a little rock dussie, 2 rock dussies here. Hello, guys. Oh, look at them. How cute. So, yeah, there were 3 eggs, but now there's only 2 eggs left. And they've been watching this Egyptian goose, hoping that the eggs will hatch sometime soon. And check at these little hyraxes. Enjoying the sunshine. Oh, he's giving himself a bit of a scratch. So yeah, Egyptian geese nesting, they generally nest in the ground, but as we were talking about yesterday, often they can actually raid other birds' nests. I've seen Egyptian goose nesting in a. Look at these hyraxes scratching themselves. They're so cute. Oh my goodness! Now I have a soft spot for little creatures. Oh, this hyrax is giving himself a nice scratch. Very furry. So yeah, So yeah, we're just talking about these Egyptian geese while the hyraxes were distracting me. Yeah, so generally they are ground nesting birds. They also can nest in tree nests as well, vulture nests, as well as I've seen them nesting in a hammerkop's nest before. They will use a bit of vegetation in order to create their nest, but it's generally just a bit of their down feathers that they'll create. Sometimes even nest on the kind of ledges on trees, ledges or on the edges of trees. Um, and oh, shucks. I'm sorry, I'm being so distracted by these little hyraxes. So the incubation period for these Egyptian geese is generally anything between about 28 to 30 days is a general incubation period for an Egyptian goose. Oh, there we go. There are the eggs. These are the ones we've been looking for. And the Egyptian geese will become independent of their mothers at about 4 to 4.5 months of age. Of course, the female is a goose, male is known as a gander, and the little ones are known as goslings. As I mentioned, a general clutch of Egyptian geese eggs can be anything from 5 to 11 eggs, although generally I've mostly seen six or seven little goslings. Um, a lot of predators out there who would love to eat a baby Egyptian goose, so not all of those goslings will actually survive. So obviously generally breed in this time of year in spring, end of the dry season, or kind of middle of the dry season. And then both males and female will feed and care for the chicks. So yeah, looks a lot sunnier in Cape Town than it does kind of in Joburg and Durban, I must say. Yesterday afternoon it did look a bit overcast here in Cape Town, but it's looking nice and sunny here. Lovely sunny day. So it's actually quite cool. There's these rock hyraxes resemble quite large rodents, and their closest living relatives are actually elephants and manatees. How crazy is that? Closest relative to a hyrax is actually an elephant and a manatee. Those feet of those hyraxes are pretty cool. If you ever see a hyrax, just check out his feet. Especially developed for climbing on the rocks. This Egyptian goose is grooming. That's just watching this Egyptian goose giving herself a groom here. All right, well, we've really enjoyed Stony Point here, Joe and Mello. I agree with you there. But let's head over to Tembe and see what activities happening in Tembe Elephant Park in KZN. So it looks like we've got a bit of a standoff here. These two elephant bulls might be having a bit of a fight. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah. Again, we were talking about male elephants and testosterone. These two boys are definitely taking each other on. I think the outlet for the pan is close by here, so they're obviously fighting over the fresh water. And then if we have a listen, we can hear the tusks clanking against each other, ear flapping. All right, let's head over to Old Donyo, see what other elephants are happening at Old Donyo. So it looks like we've got some more elephant hustle and bustling happening over here at Old Donya. Great to watch these elephant bulls always testing one another. So Jamie is asking about elephants, if the females fight as much as the bulls do. So no, generally elephant females, if they fight with one another, it might just be to chase bulls away from their youngsters, or again to discipline their little ones. Generally, bulls are the ones that kind of fight a lot more and test each other a lot more. So yeah, it's incredible how elephants are just extraordinarily intelligent, such intelligent creatures, and they're so well adapted to the environment. So they are actually very good swimmers, and they've adapted to be able to dive, as their trunks are quite handy to be used as snorkels when they're swimming. Um, and they can actually float. So yeah, I've seen elephants quite often swimming a lot. I've spent a lot of time with elephants swimming, especially doing activities while on boats and with the elephants swimming in the rivers or the dams. Crossing the elephants crossing the Zambezi River is definitely a sight that I wish that everyone could get the chance to see. It's quite cool. They cross in a single file line when crossing a big river, and what they'll do is the mothers and sub-adults will often link their tails. So they'll hold the females will have the babies behind them, holding onto their tail so as not to get lost or swept away by the water. How crazy is that? It's so cute to see all these little babies holding tails as they move through the water. So yeah, elephants' feet are also especially adapted and versatile. So they have quite special padding and cushions under their feet in order to hold all of their weight. And this cushion padding under their feet also helps them to not struggle with slipping. Oh, we've got a eland that just joined us. So yeah, those feet are very strong. I've never seen an elephant slip actually. Even walking up and down slippery banks, they're very sensitive soles, helping them to move as they need. That's why a lot of tree protection programs, if you want to protect trees from elephants, you can. This one elephant looks like he's got a bit of a strained tusk. The one on the is kind of closest to us with his bottom facing us. But yeah, if you a lot of tree protection programs I've done. If you do, you can do the wire wrapping, of course. But another kind of method is also you can put rocks, sharp, jagged rocks around the trees. And because of the elephant's sensitive feet, they don't like to move over uneven, rocky areas. So very, very cool. Obviously, elephants also have their senses, a lot of kind of little nerves that pick up all the rumblings of communication through the ground. So this is what helps them to be able to communicate over very long distances. So, Mindy, no, this is not a circus trick, the tail holding. I've seen it happening quite a lot, especially at watering holes when little babies are kind of, afraid they might lose their mother. They'll often hold onto the mother's tail, but the most I've seen it is when elephants are crossing a river. They'll actually hold on to the mother's tail. When crossing, obviously the little babies stand the chance of being washed away or also being picked off by a crocodile if the water is deep enough. So yeah, they'll hold on to the mother's tail for dear life. Yes, a jive bunny, isn't it just so cute? Yeah, so I've spent a lot of time on boats. I love boats. I'm a real water baby myself. So I've spent a lot of time driving boats on the Zambezi River, also in Congo, and also here in South Africa. And all locations I've spent a lot of time with elephants in water, and it's crazy the things that you pick up on elephants. So I've also seen with elephants as well when they kind of a bit unaware if they're moving through water. They do this like also like a kind of a flicking with their trunk that they do very close to the top of the water because there's that very fine layer of very thin air that's just above the water there, and they can pick up on a lot of scents and smells that they might not be able to smell elsewhere. So they'll kind of be like looking for the smell. Strange bird sound they were just calling just now. I don't know if anyone managed to catch that. Could be like a babbler of some sort. I'm not sure. Very strange sound. Or shrike. I don't know if it's a shrike. What is that bird calling? So yeah, elephants are actually very, very sensitive and a very compassionate creatures. When giving birth or in times of distress, maybe if a baby is being stuck in the water or mud, it's crazy how elephants all get together and help one another. I've seen many instances when other elephants have all come to help push a little baby out of the mud. I think there was a video in Natasha of also an elephant that was trying to help push a rhino. There was a rhino stuck in one of the pans, and the elephant came and tried to help push the rhino out of the pan, which was really crazy to think of it like, wow, I would have never thought an elephant would care to help a rhino out of a pan. Isn't that cute? Sarah, I agree with you there. I do definitely love the kind of family caring aspect of elephants. Yeah, it's also quite cool how when elephants, well, it's very special how when elephants also see bones and remains of another elephant, whether they know the elephant or not, they'll also have kind of like a quiet moment, especially if they know the individual that passed away. They'll kind of sniff the bones, smell the bones. Some individuals will even pick up the bones and carry them for a bit. Shame. Look at this poor elephant. He's got very much forest elephant looking nasty tusk on the left hand side there. So it could just be a natural deformity that its kind of tusk is growing like that, but also it could have been in a fight and caused the actual tusk to dislodge and start growing at a bit of a strange angle. Very unusual. I see that a lot with forest elephants. The forest elephants do have very strange tusks. The little ones almost have Dracula looking tusks that go straight down. While as females, they have these weird Dracula looking tusks. Oh, poor zebra. Few zebra want to come in for a bit of a drink, but these elephants are not budging. So I do find it quite cool also how elephants are kind of left or right side dominant, just as with people, we are right or left-handed. So you'll see an elephant's tusk, one side might be more worn than the other. That could be a good result for why one tusk is shorter than the other. And also, I love the tool marks that you get on some elephant tusks. As kind of ends of some elephant tusks, you can sometimes see where the elephant has kind of pulled vegetation over its trunk continuously, and it actually sometimes forms little grooves in their tusks. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. You can see, and then that will also give you a big, good indication whether they are kind of right or left side dominant. Let's have a look if we can see any grooves here. You can see this elephant, his tusk is more worn on the right hand side, so he's obviously more dominant on that right hand side. So Jive Bunny, I'm glad to hear you say you have a soft spot for elephants. I know everybody loves elephants. Whether big or small, they're all super precious. Even the youngsters, the sub-adults that are full of energy and a little bit testy. So those are generally the elephants that sometimes are a little bit also unpredictable. They're sub-adults between the ages of 5 and 10 that are kind of very testy, but they still have their parents, their mum is still close by to protect them. So it's very easy to be aggressive and chase other creatures when your mom will come and protect you. So once they've kind of grown out of that and hit maturity, yeah, they start to become a little bit more respectful. Oh, isn't it lovely just watching these elephants here? There's quite a few elephants with some torn ears. Good kind of IDing feature. Perfect place for these elephants to have a nice mud bath, help to protect their skin from those very harmful UV rays and any insect bites. Can also act as a moisturizer too. Shame these poor zebra are desperate for a drink. So some of these elephants have actually been recorded actually coming across bones. So they do recognize bones of their deceased loved ones, and they will stand around for hours, sometimes even days, around the bones, kind of mourning the passing of one of their own. So yeah, it's quite. You can see how intelligent they are. Oh, the zebra finally coming for a drink. So nice that the elephants have let some of the other species come for a drink. Nice to see some beautiful sable. Eland. So nice eland coming down for a drink. Oh, they better be careful though, because it's a bit of a small spot that they have to come in here. And these elephant bulls are not being too cooperative and sharing. Shame you can see their tails are busy. Obviously, a lot of insects bothering these poor zebra. So it's actually quite cool. Baby elephants, I don't know if you've ever seen baby elephants sucking their trunks. So it's similar with humans. It's kind of like a sign of comfort, just like how little kids suck their thumbs. Baby elephants do the same behavior as well. Shame. I don't know if this oryx is going to get much space in here to come for a drink. So yeah, today I wanted to kind of discuss watering holes. So I like to have like a fun fact of the day, or like, yeah, it's kind of topic of the day to chat about. And today I'd like to chat about the importance of watering holes and kind of, yeah, the importance in the ecosystem. So it is very important to keep these watering holes available. But again, I much prefer natural watering holes. Sometimes a lot of people try to introduce too much artificial watering holes, which can be yeah, a bit disruptive to animal movement patterns. So natural watering holes are the best kind of watering holes for animals. It's yeah, obviously besides the fact of just attracting animals for the purpose of drinking and for water, it also is gives a lot of social interaction for a lot of different species. Yeah, so a lot of zebra might congregate and interact with one another, all kinds of animals, zebra, impala, elephants. Obviously, you can see with these elephant bulls. This is quite a very important interacting social time for these elephants, because I'm sure these are kind of all solitary bulls that will then move on and kind of yeah, do their own thing, or maybe they'll join a gang and hang out together for some time. So that social interaction is very important for a lot of animals that they get from watering holes. Um, of course, you have the whole predator dynamic. A lot of predators will hang around watering holes and wait for a meal and do and hunt around a watering hole as well. So it's very important for predators to come and drink, wait for kind of other antelope to come down. Another importance of watering holes, just like we saw at the Olifants Rivier, is a lot of these water sources create a whole ecosystem on its own. So not only is it a water hole, but sometimes you get a lot of beautiful green trees that are growing down by these watering holes, or rivers that obviously provide food for animals too, just like a Tau Lodge and Tembe. There's a whole aquatic system that live there as well. So aquatic birds, invertebrates, insects, nymphs, kind of all the vegetation, the reeds that grow down there, a whole bunch of palm trees. So just on the kind of whole ecosystem that it creates, attracting different birds, different animals. Bushbuck, of course, need to have these thick riverine areas in order to occur. So, yeah, watering hole is not just important for a watering hole, but yeah, it's very important for the social dynamic of a lot of animals, hunting areas, feeding areas. It's this whole ecosystem on its own. Jive Bunny, I agree with you there. Only an elephant can make a wrinkled bottom look cute. And is that definitely one very wrinkled bottom? And Michelle Brown, elephants definitely are very beautiful creatures. So why don't we just have a quiet moment to just enjoy these elephants and yeah, reflect on how important watering holes are in the ecosystem. Sorry, folks, looks like we had some camera challenges. Now we seem to have lost our feed of El Doldaño. Shame we were talking about how the camera there is not so stable. But we've just arrived at one of my favorite locations here in Botswana, Hyena Pan. Oh man, I love this pan. We were also here yesterday and it just made my day. So it looks like we've got two big elephant bulls also coming down for a nice afternoon mud wallow and swim. See, this area is obviously very heavily impacted by elephants. A lot of beautiful big mopanis in this area. Shucks, I've never seen so many mopanis in my whole life as I have at this location, Hyena Pan, which is located close to Moremi Private Game Reserve. Definitely worth a visit. I loved my time there earlier this year. What else do we have in the pan there? There's some stilts, possibly. So yeah, you can see obviously this tree right in front of us has got yeah, a lot of elephant rubbings on. They've come straight from the mud and water, rub themselves on this tree. So you do get a lot of buffalo herds coming through here as well. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a leopard or two. I know I did hear a lot of lions while I was there. Yep, looks like we've got three blackwing stilts just on the right hand side of that elephant there, also feeding. But yeah, a lot of Mopani shrubs. You can see on the other side of the pan there, we've got a lot of Mopani shrub that also closer to the pan has obviously been munched on by elephants. And Hyena Pan wouldn't be called Hyena Pan if it wasn't a hyena paradise. So I think there's a lot of denning sites close to Hyena Pan, the lodge. Yeah, you get hyenas Oh, day and night. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, shucks. I had a hyena chewing on my water pipes when I was there. So yeah, the hyenas are definitely very prominent in the area. We saw when I was there. We did visit a few den sites, and we got to see two little hyena pups. Pretty cool. But yeah, this is definitely a lovely location. But as you can tell, it's rather hot right now. I think this time of the year. You can see not much green grass. No grass actually. Around the pan is very dry. Check out that elephant. It's having a nice swim. So yeah, you can see a lot of elephant activity around this pan. You can see a lot of trampled areas. Um, Elephants have definitely been busy in this area here. But it's a beautiful place to just sit and watch. Oh, I know kudu love to come to this pan. So yeah, it is outside of Moremi Private Game Reserve, but it is in a kind of concession area surrounded by wildlife. And of course, Moremi does not have a fence, so all the animals can kind of come and go as they please. So they do also pop in to visit at Hyena Pan. Just having a bit of a scan around the pan to see if there's any other animals around. Perfect environment for kudu. Nice to see there's still a few leaves on the mopani trees. If you ever go close to or are in an area with mopanis, you definitely need to give those leaves a smell. They've got a very beautiful, strong smell. I can tell you it's almost like eucalyptus in a way. I don't know if any of our viewers have ever smelt a mopani leaf, or even better, the pod from a mopani. If you crack that pod open, there's a little almost brain shaped looking seed that's got a very sticky substance around the seed that has a very strong smell. Can't quite describe it, but yeah, it does have a bit of a eucalyptus kind of smell to it. Nope. Do we have a baboon in the tree over here? No, what is that? Something moving in the tree over there. There were a lot of baboons in this camp when I was last year. Looks like we've got a fork-tailed drongo flying about, having a bit of a hawk for insects. Oh, no, it's not a baboon in the tree. That's an elephant hiding behind the tree there. I was seeing its tail kind of, swaying from side to side, and it looked like a baboon hanging out the side of the tree, but it's actually an elephant. Oh, shame. It looks very dry and very hot in Botswana here at Hyena Pan. Check at him hiding behind that tree. Oh, you can see a lot of dust. I can imagine the dust in this area must be crazy right now. I think I was there in May and it was already quite dry. Sorry, there's some vehicles obviously on a patrol there. Very little grass, very little ground cover, but once the rains arrive, this place will be almost unrecognizable. All right, well, let's go check out one of our other locations. Let's go check out Naledi Dam. All right, we've got some elephants here at Naledi Dam. Shame this one little one in the front looks very tired. Just hanging its trunk there. It looks like they've both had the youngsters have a bit of a mud bath. This tree here looks like a perfect rubbing post for elephants to come by and have a nice rub, good old scratch. Get all that mud off their skin. Also looking very dry in Naledi, but at least they have a little bit of grass cover. I know there's a lot of Mopani tree squirrels around here. So, Catherine, I agree with you there. That Mopani smell, I wish you could trap it in a bottle and I would have it as a scent in my house. It is the best smell. Yeah, they do have quite a sappy, kind of very sap like residue on the leaves. So, when you kind of pick a Mopani leaf, you can see very much like a sap residue on the leaves. Um, Kind of give those leaves a squash. It's a beautiful smell. You do have the Mopani worms that also grow on the Mopani tree, very specific to that species. And I don't know if any one of our viewers has ever tasted a Mopani worm. They are so by the time you see them on your plate, they are pretty much black, very dark black and gray color, but they do come in all different colors. I've seen Mopani worms orange, yellow, orange. I think there's a green as well, and they can get up to about 10 to 12 centimeters long. So obviously those worms will be kind of picked off the trees, dried. They remove the intestines from inside, dry them out, and then you can fry them up with some tomato and onion gravy. It is better to let them soak for a couple of hours in hot water though, because they are quite spicy, I must say. So you do get another species of Mopanium. It's kind of a mottledy black, yellow, and white and orange color. So yeah, in a lot of places it's kind of Vic Falls. You can actually get a certificate for eating a Mopani worm. Um, it's actually more expensive in Zimbabwe to buy Mopani worms than it is to buy like fish or the little kapenta dried fish, because obviously Mopani worms are becoming very scarce. So it is a hot commodity food, very high in protein. Those Mopani trees are also very much sought after for firewood. They make the best firewood. Very hardy wood, good for making cures as well. Perfect for hornbills to nest in too. Oh, shame, these poor elephants. They're looking for some shade to hide in. So the caterpillar that comes out of the cocoon is actually from the emperor moth, the Gonibrasia bellina emperor moth. It's a beautiful emperor moth that then lays the kind of caterpillar as the cocoons, and then the cocoons erupt this little caterpillar that feeds on the leaves. So Jive Bunny, I'd say most people don't enjoy. 90% of people I met don't actually enjoy the Mopani worms. Um, Again, I do enjoy them as long as they've been soaked for a very long time. Like, wow, very long time. So like soak them maybe in hot water for 2 to 3 hours and then just boil them in that water for another hour or so. So like 3 hours of proper soaking and boiling time in hot water. Then mix them with some nice tomato and onion gravy. Ooh, delicious with some pop. What here from Zimbabwe, sadza, which is like a white starchy staple diet in a lot of African countries. Oh, it's delicious. Delicious. But again, you do have to get used to that spiky feeling when they go down your throat, because it is a bit spiky. You must make sure you chew them very well. Have any of our viewers ever eaten a mopani worm? If a lot of places in Africa, especially Zimbabwe, some places in South Africa, but mostly Zimbabwe, they do serve them to guests as a bit of a delicacy. So I'd love to know if any of our viewers have ever eaten a mopani worm. So Sanjeev, yeah, shame. This poor young elephant. I feel like he's having a very bad Monday. He's like, where's all the food? Mom, where's the green things? I'm hungry, Mom. Shame this elephant is just like, when you just have those days that you just like, yeah, he's just tired. Or he could have been having like a serious playing session in the mud and used up all his energy, and then completely exhausted. Kind of like me at the end of some days, I run myself so thin and just get up to so much nonsense, tire myself up. So by the end of the day, I'm just like, oh my goodness, tired, tired, tired. Just like this little elephant. He's probably about just under 4 years old, probably like 3 to 4 years old. He hasn't got any tusks yet. Don't see anything. So generally their tusks start erupting at about 4 to 4.5 years of age. Oh, look, I think he's trying to sleep. Oh yeah, he could be sleeping because it looks like he's actually resting on the tree. His trunk is completely relaxed down on the ground. Looks like he wants to sleep. Her eyes are closed, but mommy keeps bothering him. Oh, look at this cute elephant. He's resting his trunk on the ground. Shame, it looks like he's missing a bit of his nail on his back foot here. He's missing his nail there. Maybe needs a bit of a pedicure. Maybe that will make him feel better. All right. Well, while these elephants are resting, trying to catch a nap, why don't we head over to Okukuyu over in Namibia and see what's happening in Namibia. Oh, and we have a pool party, folks. Welcome to Tosha Okukuyu, Cameron and Tosha of Namibia. And how awesome to have an elephant pool party here this afternoon. Why don't we have some quiet moments to just enjoy, watch, and listen to these elephants having such a good time. How awesome to see these elephants having a pool party here in Okukuyu over in Namibia. Etosha, what a special place. So we've also got, of course, Egyptian geese, springbok. There's some kudu on the far left-hand side. I think I also saw a giraffe. Lovely diversity at this pan. It's a nice big pan, so you get quite a lot of different species coming in here. I love how the springbok goes straight in the water here. We've even seen oryx having a good swim here. So bundu, glad to hear that fried mupani worms are also popular in Namibia. Sure, I know Zimbabwe, again, not a lot of countries will actually have them available for guests at the lodges, but obviously where they're fed on locally, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia, Botswana, and obviously up into Namibia as well. Very popular protein snack. So we were talking about today, our kind of topic of the day was watering holes and kind of the diversity of watering holes and importance of watering holes. So it's quite crazy how the life at a watering hole changes as soon as the sun sets. You get a lot of whole bunch of nocturnal species that then start coming and drinking. I mean, you will always get the occasional antelope coming to drink here and there, and maybe an elephant bull or two, but you get all the nocturnal species that will then come down to watering holes. That's my favorite time to put up camera traps, is get all those nocturnal species coming down to drink. Maybe like civet, aardvark, jackal, lions, leopard, hyena. And check, we have our springbok are having a swim. So watering holes like this, again, the bird diversity that you get at different watering holes is also very unique and interesting. Obviously, birds always need watering holes with places to that are kind of close to food. We often get like weavers that will nest close to watering holes, hummerkops. Here we've got the blacksmith plovers calling, so the ground-dwelling waterfowl will also make their nests close to watering holes, kind of blending into the rocks. Just saw a swallow just now. They'll come and collect the mud from a watering hole to make their nest. So you can see how everything is linked and connected to one another. And we might just see it as a watering hole, but it is so much more kind of environmentally important and so many different ecological benefits to the environment, not just for animals to drink at, also for the bird life in the area, obviously for all the little creatures to feed and come for a drink. What do we have there? Oh, lovely to see our kudu coming down for a drink. Looks like we have, is it a moorhen? Could be a moorhen on the right hand side, and a little dab chick on the left. Lovely to see these kudu all very timidly coming down for a drink this afternoon. Nice big impala ram also coming down there, and some springbuck. It's interesting how the natural processes of kind of wildlife and movement of wildlife also kind of govern and affect watering holes. Like some watering holes start off as a tiny little divot in the soil where maybe some warthogs or maybe an elephant footprint, and kind of like a low drained area that accumulates a bit of mud where some warthogs go and have a wallow. Next thing, it's not just one warthog, it's two or three warthogs wallowing in the same spot. Then some buffaloes also come and wallow there, and then some elephants. And next thing, something that started off as an print has turned into a watering. Isn't that crazy? Then they get opened up. The more traffic you get in there, the more they get opened up as well. You often get watering holes that are close to or surrounded by a sodak area, a mineral area. So animals will come to drink at the same time. They will also feed on the minerals. So cat fan, it definitely is a beautiful scene here. And Catherine, thanks for the update about giraffe also coming to feed at this watering hole at midnight. Yeah, right. It's obviously most plains game do generally come and drink at watering holes. It's more common to have them drinking during the day. Peak hours being the heat of the day, from midday to late afternoons. Early morning is a great time at watering holes for predators. They like to come for an early morning drink, but you do get other species that do kind of pop into watering holes randomly throughout the night. They don't quite have a set program, so they do generally do their own things. But yeah, early mornings, late afternoons, great time for kitty cats. Um, and then obviously in the evening, you get all those crepuscular mammals or nocturnal species that we don't generally see during the day. But just because they're not there during the day doesn't mean they are not there. Ah, and we also forgot about the amphibians. So not only are watering holes important for antelope and birds, but they're also important, oh, of course, the aquatic plant life, but also insects and amphibians. You get a lot of different smaller creatures, frogs, insects, reptiles that will also live. Monitor lizards are a good one, for example, that will also live around watering holes. And they do provide food, obviously, for a lot of bigger creatures that come down to drink. So it's all part of the ecosystem and part of the chain, kind of food chain. Oh, sorry, folks. Looks like we had some challenges with our camera there. So we've just gone back to Old Donyo here in Kenya. Good to see these elephants are letting the zebra come for a drink. And our oryx are shame, patiently waiting in the background for a chance to have a drink. So there is also quite a huge cultural significance to watering holes as well, folks. So you get a lot of tribes within Africa that have a lot of cultural kind of benefits and cultural beliefs behind a lot of the watering holes. Obviously, water is a very important source of life for humans too, but also these people will protect the watering holes in order to have the wildlife kind of have enough water to drink within an area. So, and watering holes do also play a huge cultural significance to people as well. Shame these poor oryx must be so tired. Looks like a nice day here in Kenya. Lovely and sunny, cloudy, unlike it is in Joburg and Durban at the moment. I hope whoever's in Durban, hope you guys are keeping nice and warm and that you have some lovely weather coming for you sometime soon. I believe it's been raining down in Balito for a couple of days. We're still here in Aldania. Oh my goodness, there's a little baby oryx, folks. Have a look there on the right hand side of the screen. There's a tiny two little baby oryx. How cool! So BK and I at Mabula saw some baby oryxes. When was it? say 2 weeks ago, but we thought they were a little bit early. So, shame. Little oryx have also been born in Kenya. How cool! Maybe if our little zebra friend moves out the way just now, we'll get a better view of these little baby oryx. They're so cute. Kind of hiding in the background there. Oh, and this oryx is also rather large. She looks like she could be ready to drop any time. So yeah, so what is it? August. So let's have a look. See, when do oryx normally drop their babies? Didn't think that it would be kind of in the dry season. So you do actually get a little mouse. It's called the oryx mouse. I don't know if any of you are aware. It's a very cute little mouse. It has kind of the same colorations as an oryx. Very, very cool. Where are these little baby oryx? Oh, check them. How cute is that? Oh my goodness. So cute. They look like they must be just a couple of months old. So apparently with the oryx, kind of the breeding season is not necessarily seasonal, and only one solitary young baby oryx is born at a time after a gestation period of about 260 to 264 days. Um, kind of newborns will remain concealed for the first kind of 3 to 6 weeks of their life, where the mother will hide them in a little spot in order to keep them safe and sound from predators. Oh my goodness. So these guys must be less than about 2 months old, I reckon. But there doesn't seem to, I can't seem to find anything about yeah, what specific time of the year they give birth. I think they are a little bit early. I think I heard someone mentioning the other day generally oryx do give birth around October into November. So very, very cool to see these tiny little oryx here. Lifespan of an oryx is about 20 years of age. So they live to be about 15 to 20. Looks like the mother's grooming this little one. How adorable. Oh, they're actually eland. So actually eland babies and not oryx. I thought they were with the oryx. So I thought they were actually oryx babies, but they're actually the eland babies. The eland baby kind of gestation period is very similar, only about 250 to 260 days. We saw oryx babies in little baby oryx in Mabula. These are little baby eland. Okay, so that makes sense why they're giving birth this time. So generally, eland will give birth kind of in dry season, August into September. I was a little bit confused about that, but definitely little baby eland and not oryx. Sorry, that was my fault, folks. I saw them with the oryx. So I thought they were little baby oryx. But luckily, there's lots of greenery popping out here. Oh, and some impala. Hello. Some impala in for a visit. All right, let's head over to Naledi Dam and see what's waiting for us at Naledi. Oh, got a little spur fowl here. Let's have a look. Looks like a little red-necked spur fowl at Naledi Dam having a drink out of these little pans. So this is a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier, folks, how pans start and begin. So get a muddy area like this during the rains, some elephant footprints, and then this elephant footprints attract warthogs to come and have a mud bath, and then from there it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's really cool. We've just been talking about the importance of watering holes and how it provides food, kind of water, and also kind of a feeding area, which would be perfect for a lot of different species, just like this little red-necked spurfowl to come and have a drink. How cool! Wow, this spurfowl's really thirsty. Isn't he beautiful? Look at that bright red coloration on his face. We were talking about the crested franklin the other day, and BK and I saw some pretty wacky crested franklin. They were like chasing each other across the road, up to no good, flying and fluttering all over the place. And then we were just chatting about how I love crested franklin. They definitely got a lot of spunk and character to them. And next thing we're looking for the two spur like crested franklin, and one is up in the tree and just all over the place. They're very spunky little characters, these uh, spur fowls and franklins. So these franklins, often you'll find them perfect habitat is around these watering holes. They'll be looking for any like small seeds and grains as they walk around and pick about. They also come sometimes raid little termites. So if they find a termite mound, they also raid the termite nest. And recently, at Mabola, I learned that they also feed on the fruit from um, the euphorbias. We saw some franklin there also feeding on the euphorbia fruit. So that was quite cool. I had no idea that franklin would actually enjoy feeding on euphorbia fruit. So yeah, they will feed on grains, little insects, and fruit from time to time. So jive bunny, yes, that's exactly kind of the point I was kind of getting to today. That every little thing in the ecosystem is so important for general. Yeah, each thing is linked to something. So even this tiny little puddle that this franklin is drinking out of will eventually become maybe a small watering hole or a small pan. So very, very important for the ecosystem. It's just so peaceful watching this Franklin here. All right, why don't we head back to Tower Lodge and see what's happening at Tower Lodge? Ooh, looks like we've got our zebra have come down for a drink, and check how close that crocodile is to the zebra. Doesn't seem to be very phased at all. Shucks, that crocodile's a lot drier than I saw him last time. Wonder if there's any wildebeest around. And there's some wildebeest here. Oh, we've got a pied crow also roaming around on the bank there. Could be feeding on some grubs and insects or any kind of little pieces of food it might be able to find. Sometimes they dig out in the elephant dung and get some grubs out of there. Um, Blacksmith plover, I think they should have finished their nesting season now. They should have little chicks. I know the blacksmith plovers were nesting a couple of months ago, or maybe a month ago. So, yeah. Shame this waterhole is drying up quite a bit. So I don't think the zebra feels very threatened by this crocodile because it's kind of yeah just lying on the bank there, and he's not the very big crocodile, probably yeah sub-adults, probably like 2.5 3 meters, so could still get a quite a bit bigger. But yeah, it's interesting to see this crocodile out on the opposite side of the bank. Normally we're seeing them on kind of the reeded vegetation banks in the middle of the pan, but I think because they're all drying up now, there's very limited space that they have to actually come up onto the banks to feed. They seem to be really struggling to get around in the mud. Blacksmith Glove is also not very threatened by this crocodile. He actually looks like he's sleeping. The Tower Lodge is quite a dry area as well. We're talking about sodak areas, so yeah, a lot of sodium and salt obviously in the soil here. You can see a lot of mineral lick areas, kind of where the zebra are and where this white bank is. A lot of minerals. Oh, the kind of this green vegetation on these banks is looking quite green at the moment. Wow, it's like very bright. Wonder what else is out there today. Any wildebeest? Any elephants? Oh, there we go. There's our wildebeest. Looks like they're just really taking on their Monday well. Just taking it in their stride. Yeah, so it's quite very dry. Yeah, a lot of elephant dung. Oh, yeah, We had the elephant coming and having a mud bath here the other day as well. It almost got stuck in the mud. It was a female with a little baby, and they were trying to get into this water, and they were just getting so stuck in the mud. Oop, we got some waterfowl. Oh, is that a glossy ibis down there? So I can see some moorhens and something else. What is that down there? Oh, okay, must be the moorhens. And there's some black crakes that hang out here. Could be some common moorhens. Very fluffy with their bottoms at the moment. What's happening there? Oh, there we go. Nice to see there's moorhens. There's a breeding pair of moorhens. And must be some black crakes around too. Oh, there we go. There's our black crakes. Perfect vegetation for them as they roam around looking for some insects, little grubs or nymphs. Like to feed on little nymphs as well. Busy as bees. And we have something else over here. Is that a sandpiper of some sort? Oop, there's a spurwing. Hello, little spurwing. I know in Cape Town there's quite a lot of restaurants that do sell spurwing as a delicacy. It's quite a delicacy to feed on have a spurwing at a restaurant. The spurwing goose makes very good meat apparently. Chicken's head is all the way in the mud there. Little black crake. Could be looking for little mollusks. Fish of some sort. What is he feeding on? Quite entertaining watching this Egyptian goose sticking his whole head in the mud there. Yeah, those buffalo weavers in the background calling there. Trying to see if I can see what he's actually eating. So I know spurwing goose do normally feed on kind of herbaceous vegetation, so like seeds and kind of aquatic plants or terrestrial plants. So maybe he's digging for roots. Very unusual. Spurfowl's calling. So Jeremiah Molotzi. So yeah, very interesting. So it's this really entertaining watching this spurwing dig for food. So yeah, Jeremiah. This game reserve is part of the I think it's Madikwe private game reserve, part of Madikwe. And it is a game reserve. Obviously, predators, we were talking about watering holes and pans earlier. So, predators don't generally like to be out in the heat of the day. So, I'll generally see your predators. Best time for them to come to a watering hole would be early hours of the morning and late hours of the evening. So sometimes they'll hang out at the watering holes in hope that they can kind of make a kill. But it's difficult to see predators during the day. It does happen. I have seen lions before at Tembe. And apparently, there are some leopards that do come up on some of the other camera traps. But generally during the day, It's difficult to see the predators because it's so hot that they like to hang out and sleep, so they're mostly nocturnal, the predators we'd get in these areas. Very cool to see this Egyptian geese. Egyptian goose, sperming goose, digging, putting his head in here. He must be digging up some of these lily pad vegetation of some sort. Maybe there's some tubes or bulbs. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe like some little bulbs or tubers linked to these kind of lily pads that it might be feeding on. So, Mindy, a lot of birds, especially aquatic birds, will have what's called a nictating membrane. So it's kind of similar to what some reptiles have, and it's actually like a third eyelid. So they can keep their eyes open when they go underwater, but they kind of close that third eyelid. So it's a transparent eyelid, which helps to protect their eyes underwater. Um, and yeah, allows them to be able to see when they're underwater. So yeah, a lot of kingfishers, like your giant kingfisher or pied kingfisher, will also have this adaptation in order to be able to see better while underwater. Crocodiles also have the same thing, so they can keep their eyes open while underwater and still be able to feed. So I'm sure this Egyptian goose probably has the same thing. This is rather unusual, I must say. I've never seen an Egyptian goose digging so much, but he must be getting something out of the mud there. I know the lilies are a lot of species like to feed on the kind of stems of the lily pads. Very nutritious and a lot of moisture in those stems. Trying to see if you can see if he's actually what he is eating. Rather unusual. Very unusual. I do love the spurring geese, how they have such different mottled colors. You can see those bright red legs of theirs. They also, this one you can't see as well. Looks like a sandpiper there. But, ooh, which sandpiper is this? I wonder if we have any birding, if any birders out there that can help me with the sandpiper. I know common sandpipers in these areas would be a wood sandpiper or a common sandpiper. Definitely a sandpiper, mottled back. See what color the legs are. If it's got yellow legs, you do get marsh sandpipers, but I'm gonna go with could be a wood sandpiper of some sort. Check the map. See, do they get sandpipers in this area? Wood sandpipers. Could be a little wood sandpiper. What other birds do we have? Oh, there's our little black crake. So looking for some food. Everyone's very busy this afternoon, feeding all the water birds. Love these little black crakes. They're quite cool little birds. Completely black with yellow eye. Oh, sorry, red eye and yellow bill. I'm always busy feeding as well, looking for kind of the same little dragonflies. Yeah, so just appreciating all the smaller things in this aquatic ecosystem here. So you have a lot of dragonflies and their larvae, which is then fed on by these water birds, tadpoles. Oh, there's our other crocodile. Yeah, this is a more comfortable sunning spot for a crocodile. I'm surprised that other crocodiles on the other side of the bank there, but like I said, it's becoming a bit difficult for these crocodiles to get up onto the banks here. Very muddy. Channels are becoming a bit smaller. It's kind of yeah, an advantage because they will be able to feed. So you can see the crocodile's got his eyes closed. So yeah, very cool. See crocodile sleeping and some dragonflies flying around. Check out that thick tail of his, specially designed to propel him out of the water when making a kill. Just watching this crocodile feeding. You can see, well, just kind of resting in the sunlight, absorbing as much of this afternoon's rays that he can. Nice warthog rubbing post as well, all around this pan here. Great place for warthogs to come and have a afternoon mud bath. Oh, is that some water buck we have there? Nice big male waterbuck or black-winged stilt also standing on the edge of the bank there. Oh, oh. Some zebra coming in. Nice that there's enough space at this pan for everyone to come for a drink. Shame at some of the other locations the water has dried up quite a lot, so not much space for all the different animal species to come through for a drink. What else is bobbing around the pan? Still there. Oh, must say this green lush vegetation has become very thick and green. A lot of we saw some elephants the other day trying to feed from it, so a lot of animals will be trying to get onto these banks to feed from this lovely green vegetation. Beautiful little moorhen, common moorhen. Check out those yellow legs. He's got pretty cool yellow legs, I must say. What else is around? Spurring is still getting up to some strange behavior there, sticking his head in the mud. You can see where either some yeah, elephants have probably tried to move through this area here, maybe to feed on some nice lush green grass in the middle of the pan. But shame, the adults managed to dredge their way through the water, but the little ones struggle a little bit and get stuck. Oh, check out this moorhen. Isn't he beautiful? I love that kind of like shield. So he's got yellow legs, but a bit of red at the top, kind of black with nice like kind of dappled spots of white, and a beautiful red crown, kind of on the shield, like a shield on the front of his bill there. So the adults do obviously have a brighter red bill with the yellow tip than the juveniles. That's kind of how you can tell the difference between adult and juvenile. And they do have those big white oval patches on their tails, which is quite interesting to see just now. You could definitely spot them from a mile away. So those white patches under the tail as well as along the flanks. They normally inhabit this like very fresh or brackish kind of marshy areas, ponds, lakes, and kind of any water courses. A little bit smaller than coots, as common moorhens. So they don't usually dive, they normally kind of feed on the top of the vegetation. They do give a variety of calls. Some sound kind of frog-like, so I've got some calls here. Let's see if we can play some calls for you of the common moorhen. It's a rather interesting froggy call of the common moorhen. So we also have a red hartebeest that's just joined us here. Our spurring goose is still very busy digging in this vegetation. So I wonder if our crocodiles are going to have to move soon. This water continues to dry up like this. So the spurring goose is quite widely distributed through most of Africa. So you do get them in a lot of different areas. An individual like this, generally you get them either solitary or in pairs. I saw a lot of them flocking in Botswana early in the year in the Delta. I saw groups of 20, 30, 40 individuals all together. So they do often congregate into bigger flocks. Individual like this can weigh anything from about 4 to 6 kilograms. You can see why it definitely has a decent amount of meat on its body. So great meat. Nice dark colored goose meat for eating. Obviously, I don't know anywhere else. I haven't heard anywhere else where people actually eat the spurring goose except for Cape Town. I know Cape Town there are some restaurants that do serve it as a delicacy. So why don't we head across to Stony Point and have a quick pan, see what else is there at Stony Point in Cape Town. So welcome back to Stony Point, everyone, in Cape Town. We still have our rock dussies. Of course, they have not moved much since we last left them. And it looks like it's still having some beautiful hot weather in Cape Town. Sun is out. Very unusual place, Cape Town. I must say, I've never experienced weather like the weather in Cape Town. You can get 5 seasons in a day and almost get blown away. It's rather unusual. I think I went at not a great time. I went during August, no, September? No, it was August and November. So yeah, the weather was rather unusual, I must say. Um, So yeah, these hyraxes are actually pretty cool. We were talking about the foot structure earlier, and they're actually quite cool in that the irises, so their eyes are slightly protruded over their pupils of their eyes. So this kind of decreases the amount of light that is able to go into the eyes. So it serves as kind of a bit of a built-in sun visor. Pretty cool. What's happening? Okay, see if there's any more kind of dassies in the rocks here. They generally live in groups, these rock dassies. Anything from about 2 to 26 individuals. They're so cute and fluffy, I must say. They do have very sharp teeth, which kind of enables them to bite grass and feed very quickly in order to fill their stomachs. So they spend kind of more time relaxing and chilling on the rocks than they do actually feeding. Don't want to expose themselves to predators. And our little Egyptian goose is still here. Seems to have turned around a bit. Oh, we've got some, looks like some plated lizards of some sort just on the right. Cool. Well, we're praying that this darling Egyptian goose manages to, carry on looking after these eggs of hers and raise both of those chicks. She's been very busy today grooming herself. Isn't it just awesome to listen to the sounds of the ocean? She's very attentively fixing her nest as well. I see her constantly plucking and pulling, and a lot of the down feathers that she's kind of securing in the nest there to make sure that she gets a nice comfy fit so that her eggs stay nice and warm. I think that's some big lizards. Alrighty, folks. Well, it has been a pleasure being with you live at the waterhole today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Monday. I will be joining you again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow live at the Waterhole. From me and the rest of the Wild Earth team, I wish you a fabulous Monday. And yeah, I hope that the Monday blues have not hit too hard. And yeah, it is now, almost time to go home anyways. So I hope you have a lovely day. See you tomorrow, folks. Have a lovely evening.